Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Energize Live. This is where we make magic in the mornings together. Happy Monday. I was going to say this is the last Monday in January, but it's not. We have one more Monday in January, but here we are, January. Listen, it's January 23rd. Just like that. We are in the last full week of January. Just like that. That is what happens with time. That is what happens with time. It is January 23rd. And we're going to make a magical morning cocktail together. And I thought I would share some of the pieces that I got from a conference that I attended last week. We'll talk about all of that too. I'm going to get just a smidge more water. And you're going to tell me how you are this morning. That is most important. Tell me what's going on with you. What's your weather? What's your energy? How you feeling? What's going on? What do you have happening on this Monday? Tell me something about you. I'm not even going to tell you what to tell me. You decide. You tell me what you're going to... Katie, I'm so glad to see you this morning. Katie, I'm so glad. Katie, everyone go follow Katie Anderson Fit, and you will see pictures of the most adorable newborn baby. And his first name is Baker. Is that right? Baby Baker. I am crying right now. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the mamas and the babies and all the things. Okay, I'm going to get a smidge more water. Tell me something about you in the comments right now. Katie, it's like 3:30 in the morning. That baby's got you up. That baby has you up. Hold on a minute. I'm going to take this off. Katie, I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you. So tell me all the things that are happening in your life. Chris, you're going back to work after some surgeries and some rehabs. Ashley got a mixed bike workout already done this morning. Wow, you are up and slaying it, Katie. He's lucky. So they're always so lucky that they're cute. They're like puppies too. Listen, my dogs kept me up all night last night. It was a new moon last night, I believe. It was a new moon, and I was reading something that, certain astrological signs are more affected by this particular new moon than others. And listen, don't get all, that's too woo for me, because let me remind you that the moon actually controls the ocean. You are made up of water. And if you think you're more powerful than the ocean, that you cannot be affected by what's happening in the sky, you're wrong. That's all I'm going to say. You're wrong. You are not more powerful than the ocean. So there's things happening with this new moon, and there are certain astrological signs that are more affected by it than others, and Scorpio is one of them for some reason. And I wonder if that's why I did not sleep very well last night. I'm thinking that possibly it is. Let's use our Sunrise and Energize frother this morning, shall we? So last week, I went over on Thursday. I was there Thursday evening. I was there all day Friday, and I was there Saturday morning. I attended a women's conference over in Tampa. It was a women's leadership conference over in Tampa. And let me tell you what was cool about this. I thought this was just the coolest sort of setup and premise ever, and it really makes me inspired to do something like this myself. So the woman who organized it, evidently this is the 6th one that she's done, the 6th live event. And they're not all in Tampa. She does them all over. And she is with another network marketing company. And she's built a multi-million-dollar business with her network marketing company. And from what I can tell, her particular network marketing company does not do a lot of live events. And so she decided a few years ago that she was going to do live events. And so from what I can tell, she started doing the live events mostly for her team of business partners in her network marketing space. And then decided, you know what, collaboration over competition, let me just open this up. And I don't know when she opened it up. I don't know any of that, because this is the first time that I've gone. First time I've actually heard of her. And she opened it up so that any female, really, any female entrepreneur, right, could attend. And so there were probably, I think I heard 250, don't quote me on that, but that's kind of what I heard, 250, 300 maybe. A lot of the women who were there were in her same network marketing company, which makes sense, right? You know, same community. And a lot of us were not. A lot of us are just female entrepreneurs. And she had an amazing lineup of speakers. And a lot of these speakers, you know, kind of work that same type of circuit. You'll see a lot of them at the same type of circuit. But it was the first time that I got to hear two women that are like my social media friends, but I've never actually met in person, but I consider them my friends. I got to hear them speak in person. One is Patrice Washington, which I've encouraged you a couple times to follow, and another is Erin King, which I think I've encouraged you to follow as well. And just incredible speakers. Just it is so freaking powerful to be in spaces with women who are really stepping into their power, saying yes, understanding they don't know all the things, and are willing to figure it out along the way. And so it was an awesome experience just to be in a room. The energy and the vibe in the room was so great. And I took a lot of notes, and I thought maybe this morning I might share some of those notes with you if that is cool with you. Give me a yes or a I don't care in the comments. Tell me something in the comments. Also, don't sleep on the fact that I said that the woman who was running the event, who is running the event, is in the network marketing space, and she's built a multi-million-dollar business. I can say that about her. It gets a little sideways when you talk about your own business because of the Federal Trade Commission. Don't get me started on that, because that is all the freaking patriarchy. However, I can talk about her multi-million-dollar business in her network marketing space. I cannot talk about my own. I cannot say that about my own, but I can say that about hers. And don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on the fact that a woman started a network marketing business out of her home. She has 6 children. Don't come at me with, I'm so busy, I don't have time. She has 6 children. She started a network marketing space out of her home. She's built a multi-million-dollar business, and she's created these live events. From my understanding, started for her team simply because her company doesn't really do a lot of live events, and then has opened them up to just, you're going to attract female entrepreneurs, right? Like, she doesn't have to say this event is for female entrepreneurs. You can market it that way, and then that's what you're going to attract, because that's the vibe that you're putting out there. So that's really what the speakers were about. They were about stepping in your potential. They were about saying yes, about getting out of your own way. And just don't sleep on the casual fact that I just said she has built a multi-million-dollar network marketing business. Because I get really tired of people coming at me and going, oh, how's that little fitness business? Are you making any money in that? Yes, you can change your life through network marketing. And if you still feel like that's scammy or salesy, I would love the opportunity to educate you on what it is, because it's not that, it's not any of that, and it's not any of that more than any other business in the world. And you have the opportunity literally to give yourself a raise, to create the life that you want to create on purpose with purpose. And it was really cool to be in a space last week with other women who are doing that, whether they happen to be in my network marketing space or not. We're all on a journey to create our lives on purpose with purpose. And we're using different vehicles to do that. And the vehicle that some of the women in that room are using is different than the vehicle that I'm using, than the vehicle that you might be using. It doesn't matter. We're all on the same mission, right? So listen, here's the thing. I write my notes, and then I come home and type my notes. And I did we call them power hours. Hold on, I've got to take a drink of this. We call them power hours in my lingo. I ran an hour kind of work session on Saturday morning for other women in my network marketing space. We call them power hours. And when I ran it on Saturday morning, I was still at the hotel, still at this event. And I asked people who were on it when the last time, because it's mostly women, right? I asked, when was the last time you attended an event that was not associated with your company, not something that you had to do, but was a personal growth, personal development type situation that you bought a ticket to, probably packed a suitcase, got in your car, drove, got on an airplane, went to it, and actually immersed yourself in a personal growth development type conference. And on this work session that I was leading on Saturday morning, I asked the women who were on there. Also, by the way, we had like 300 women on this work session, which I'm like, 300 women taking ownership of their life. I was so happy. And I asked them that, when was the last time have you ever bought a ticket to a conference, a personal development conference, packed your suitcase, got in your car, got on an airplane, went somewhere and immersed yourself? And I would say 99% of the women said no. Unless it was directly associated with their company, 99% of the women had not sought anything out on their own, and 99% of the women said no. I thought that was so interesting, and I gave them some homework, and I'll share that homework with you. That in 2023, your homework is to get yourself to a personal growth, personal development type conference that has nothing to do with the company that you're in or the business that you might be in, but that is just something purely personal growth. And here is a little tip for how you can find that, because your next question will be like, well, how do I find that? How do I even find that? Here's a little tip for you. There is this really cool, you might have heard of it, I don't know, but it's this really cool search engine, and it's called Google. And you're going to go to it and you're going to type in Women's Leadership Conference, Personal Growth Conference, Personal Development Conference. You're going to type that in and you're going to find that. And you're going to find something. So, but I'm not talking to just my, to my team body people. I'm not talking to that, Brianne. I'm talking to women in general. When was the last time you got into a personal growth? By the way, Energize Live is not a team body specific situation, right? Maybe you are part of Team Body, but maybe you, like many of the women at the conference that I attended last week, are part of Plexus or another network marketing space. Awesome. I'm here for Women Rising, period. And part of Women Rising is seeking out personal growth, personal development situations that have nothing to do with the business that you might be in. You know why? Because I need you to seek out different voices. I need you to seek out different perspectives. Aligned energy, but different voices. Aligned vibes, aligned souls, but different perspectives. I need you to hear from women who don't look like you. I need you to hear from Black and brown women, women of color, women with disabilities. I need you to hear from women who don't look like you, who don't think exactly like you, who have different perspectives than you, different life experiences you, different ideologies than you. I need you to hear from women who don't look like you. No, Brianna, that doesn't count. Sorry, I love that you're trying to justify it. Doesn't count. Doesn't. Oh, Andrea, Women Rising? Oh my God. Let's trademark that right now. That's the name of that will be the name of my conference, Women Rising. And what I loved about this particular conference, what I loved about listening to them is they're sort of speaking the same language, but they're not, because it's a different voice. So listen, there's very little new original idea in this world anymore. And what they're saying from the stage, what they were saying from the stage, certainly wasn't anything new or different that I or you maybe haven't heard, but the way they're saying it is new and different because their life experiences are new and different. Maybe they're a person of color, maybe they're a person with disability. They've had a different life experience than you. They're in a different business than you. And to hear them say something differently, that's where the light bulb can go off, because you and I both know you might be listening to something, you might be listening to awesome podcasts, to books, to people, to whatever. You've got the tools in your life. I don't care where you are in your journey or what you want to do with your life. Chances are you have the tools in your life. And then someone says something and the light bulb goes off. Chances are it's not anything you haven't heard before. It's just that they say it a little differently and you're in the season to receive it. Well, how do you know that you're in the season to receive it? Sometimes you don't. That's why you always have to put yourself in the room where it happens. Always. You always have to put yourself in the room where it happens. So that is your challenge, a personal growth conference where no one really knows who you are. Get yourself a couple girlfriends, guy friends, whatever, a little group, a little gang, little community, a little crew, and road trip over where, like, when I walked in, no one knew me. That's a beautiful thing. There's no expectation. There's no assumption. No one knew me. No one knew what business I was in, what business I wasn't in. No one knew anything about me. And I could be in that audience and soak in everything. And I just found, I wish I had a pen right now, but Andrea, I'm absolutely using that for my live event, Women Rising. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. It's absolutely going to be what I use. Okay. So a couple of the pieces so I write all my notes. I handwrite all my notes, and there is scientific data. It's not just a JV fact. It's scientific data that when you write your notes, you remember them more. Okay. So I write my notes, and then because I'm writing them and I'm writing them quickly and I'm probably not getting everything down that I want to get down, I then go back and type my notes legibly, and then I shared my notes with my team of business partners, Spartan Nation, and I shared my notes with my inner circle subscribers, so they got my typed notes as well. I feel like I printed them off. This is pretty, I feel like it's printed like 8,000 copies, but not all that I wrote. Okay. Lots of things. So my advice to you is, when you go somewhere, handwrite your notes. It's a proven, it's scientific fact that you will remember them better if you handwrite them, and if you will write them in blue ink. Don't at me. Science is science. If you write them in blue ink, and then I come home and type them, because then I like to share them, right? Because knowledge is only power if you share it and you apply it. Why would I keep it to myself? That makes no sense. So speaking of that, one of the first pieces that I wrote down that someone said from stage is, if you don't give your gift to the world, it hurts the world, since only you can give your gift. And we've talked about this a million times on here on Energize Live. This is something I'm really passionate about. You have been given gifts, talents, a light, knowledge, energy, a vibe, something that is specific to you. You've been given it to you. And it's so interesting to me. Listen, I'm going to get a little deep here just for a second. It's so interesting to me how many people will say that they are people of faith. People of faith, believe in God, all the things. I go to church, I do the thing. I'm faith. Awesome. If you're a person of faith and you believe that there's a higher power than you, then I would think you would believe that higher power gave you your gifts and talents for a reason. And if that higher power that you say you believe in gave you your gifts and talents for a reason, then aren't you doing that higher power a disservice by not sharing them? Like, are we a person of faith only when it's convenient? Are we a person of faith because we're a person of faith? Do you truly believe in a higher power and that you were given your gifts and talents for a reason? Then guess what? If you were given them for a reason, then it's on you to share them. So are you a person of faith, or are you a person of faith when it's convenient and cool to say, well, I'm a person of faith? It's something to think about. If you don't give your gifts to the world, it hurts the world, because only you can give your gift. Now, this was like I want you to think about this, because I really loved how this was said several times from stage, and I really loved it. Casual creates casualties. Just think about it for a minute. We'll talk about it. Casual creates casualties. And over from the stage, it was shared, we have gotten so casual. We've gotten so casual with our goals. We've gotten so casual with our dreams. I see it all the time in terms of live events, over and over again. people not showing up for live events because it's a little bit inconvenient. We're so casual with our goals. We're so casual with our dreams. We're so casual with our life. We're just so casual with it. It was the first time I heard this particular phrase. It's another reason why you go to other personal growth and personal development conferences, because you do hear stuff you haven't heard in a way that you've never heard it. Casual creates casualties, meaning what do we lose? What are we losing by being so casual with our goals and our dreams, so casual with our standards? Something that one of the speakers talked about, which I thought was I loved it so much. When you go out to a restaurant, or let's say you come to my favorite place, Walt Disney World, you go to a restaurant, you go travel, you go to a high-end, resort, or really you just drive through Starbucks. You expect a certain level of service, right? You have a standard in your mind of excellence, how people should be behaving, acting, whatever it might be. You have a standard in your mind. How often are we expecting other people to be at this certain standard of excellence, but then we are so casual with how we show up? Isn't that such an incredible way of thinking? Like you drive through Starbucks and you expect them to be at this certain level of excellence, but yet we're so casual with how we show up with our goals, with our dreams, with our life. We're so casual with our own standard of excellence. We expect everyone else to be up at this certain level of excellence, but we're not willing to be there ourselves. We're willing to just be average or ordinary. Think about that for a minute. I thought that was really, really good. And then I will share this from my friend Patrice Washington, who I want you to go share or follow. I tagged her on my stories this morning. Go follow her. She said, and she said it over and over again, when you know something, you have a responsibility to tell your friends. When you know something, you have a responsibility to tell your friends. She's like, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Whether it's a life hack, whether it's a life lesson, whatever it might be, if you know something, you have a responsibility to tell your friends, because we're all here to help the journey for everybody else. And if we know something that can make someone's life better, we have a responsibility to tell our friends. And that word responsibility, I think, shifts everything. Not if you know something, you should tell your friends, or it'd be nice if you tell your friends, but if you know something, you have a responsibility to tell your friends. That completely shifts everything, because now it's not an option. You have a responsibility to tell your friends. I want you to follow my friend Erin King. She has an amazing book called Big Deal Energy. You'll love it. And she talked a lot about what blocks our big deal energy. And she had some really great notes for us. And the last piece that I'll leave you with to think on this Monday morning, there's so much. I can't cover it in an Energize Live. And I will definitely dive into it more with my team of business partners, Sparta Nation, and definitely with my inner circle later this week. The last thing I want to leave you with is this for you to think about this week, and that is identity. And if you read the book, tell me in the comments, have you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear? Yes or no in the comments. Have you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear? Yes or no in the comments. If you have read that book, you have heard James Clear talk about this idea of identity. Identity. It's not, I think I'll go out for a run today. It's, I'm a runner, so what do runners do? It's not, I think I'll work out today. It's, I'm a person who works out. And a person who works out, what do? Well, they work out. Or I'm a person who eats healthy. It's this whole idea of identity. So much dialogue on that from the stage last week. This whole idea of identity, because it's the reason why habits don't stick. Because this was a network marketing, because this was put on by someone who's in the network marketing space. It wasn't a network marketing event. Because this was organized by someone who's in the network marketing space, because it's geared toward female entrepreneurs. This piece of identity I thought was so powerful, because how many women do I hear, does this woman probably hear, who are in that room who say they want to build an incredible business, but they haven't shifted their identity to really believe that they can. And everything hinges on identity. The reason why your habits don't stick is because you haven't truly embraced the identity. Everything rests on who and what you believe you are. So here is the big question. Do you really, truly, actually believe in your big dream? Like almost insanely believe in your big dream? Your identity is everything. Everything rests on who and what you believe you are. Only we can heal ourselves, and we cannot do it alone. So until you decide truly that you are or will be and you fill in the blank, it's going to be real hard to keep those habits. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I talk about with my business partner, with Sparta Nation, my business partners all the time. This is the kind of stuff. We talk about this kind of stuff like all the time. I'm in our team page twice a week, sometimes more when the spirit moves me, sometimes more. And this is the kind of stuff that we talk about all the time. We talk about some of this stuff on my subscriber community and my inner circle community too. Sometimes in my subscriber community, we also talk about what's in my pantries. Sometimes we talk about less deep stuff, but this deeper stuff, this is the kind of stuff we talk about in Sparta Nation, my team of business partners, because we're building businesses that change lives. We're building businesses that create impact and income. I firmly believe to my bones, because I'm living it, that partnering with Team Body is the single most powerful way to create opportunities to say yes to your family. I believe that. So because I believe that, I am talking about this stuff all the time in our team page and aligning our habits and our work ethic with our goals and our dreams. And so much of it comes down to identity. Do you truly believe in your big dream? Do you? Or is it just a picture on a vision board? Do you truly believe you are capable of creating any life that you want to create on purpose of purpose? Do you truly believe that? If you do, then you'll align your habits and your work ethic to make it happen. If you don't, then that's why you keep sliding backwards. This is the kind of stuff we talk about in there. I love this kind of stuff. Okay, it's time to wrap up. Actually, my husband's going to come out and make a shake. My husband's starting a little job today. He's working over, listen. He is working over at the Disney golf course, which means 3 of the 5 JVs are now working for the Mouse, and I am not one of them. What is happening right now? Do I need to go work over at World of Disney just to get my own little name tag? What is happening right now? Okay, so we got to wrap up. I hope some of this was helpful to you. To my Sparta Nation business partners, I'm going to be talking about this week, Tuesday, Thursday. To my inner circle, I'm going to be talking about this Wednesday, Friday, and I'll probably be talking about it here and there on my stories, but diving deeper in with my groups. If you have not subscribed yet, you can do that. There's a link in my feed or on my bio, on my profile. I don't know which, on my Instagram, and it's on the right-hand side, subscribe. So go over there and hit subscribe, join our inner circle. But the bottom line is, if you don't have a vehicle that you can truly create your life on purpose with purpose, then we need to have a conversation, because life's too short. It's just too short to not be living the life that you want to be living on purpose with purpose. I believe that. So, okay, let's go make it an awesome Monday. It is the last full week of January, and #Women Rising. I love it so much. All right, go have an awesome Monday.